Hello guys, this is Catherine. I'm here to do a review of my October planner system. In October, I haven't really changed my planner system that much, but I have noticed some things about my planner routine and just like how I'm using the planners. So I will be making some updates in November and December and also moving into 2021. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about that later in this video. But first, let me show you the notebooks that I used in October. So this is my Hobonichi Weeks Mega that I'm using as my brain dump in the pre-planner. This one is my Lissy Nolty. The brand is Nolty and this model is called Lissy 1, and I got this from Amazon Japan. This is just a regular planner with vertical weekly layout. They also come in horizontal layout as well, but this is A5 slim size, and I have just set this out as my goal planner slash business planner. And then this one is my Hobonichi Cousin. It's an A5 size planner. I use this for pretty much just like everything. Everything is combined in here. It has my personal stuff, it has my business stuff, it has my things related to my kids, family, all of that. And then it also has my daily notes and meeting notes and all of that good stuff. So I use this for everything. It has my schedule. So I love this. You guys all know I love this. And I'm really glad I made this work this year. So let me just go through a little bit about like my process this month. So this is October. This sort of happens at the end, towards the end of September. I will start marking out the major dates for, you know, deadlines for work or for personal stuff. Just everything happens in here. I'll just sketch them out, and then in the weekly section I will just kind of write more in detail and document anything that comes in throughout the day. So what's sort of unique for my situation is that my day is split into half, more or less half. So like the first half of the day and up until early afternoon, I am with my child. So I cannot sit at a desk and I don't have access to my cousin. So I just kind of bring this around with me. And if anything comes in, I'll just quickly jot them down here. And then in the second half of the day, when I actually start my work day, I will either transfer that into my goal planner slash business planner or into my cousin, depending on what type of task it is. If it's just like a small task that I can just finish really quickly, then I'll just write that in my Hobonichi Cousin. If it's something larger or is a business related sort of thing, then I'll just jot them down in my goal planner slash business planner. So that's kind of how I've been using my Hobonichi Weeks. And for those of you who might be thinking, why can't you just have the Hobonichi Weeks and the Hobonichi Cousin? It's because this one is meant to be really messy, and I will not be able to actually use this as a reference for businesses or, you know, personal stuff, just because, you know, nothing is divided, like everything is like mushed together. So it'll be really hard for me to use this as a reference, and it's meant to be that way just because by making this a messy planner, it kind of helps me to I feel like my brain is more lubricated when I'm using this planner, just because it's not very clean. So I'm sure many of you feel the same way as me. So this has been really, really helpful in just like kind of get my brain juices flowing. So that's the reason why I can't just have a pre-planner, a messy pre-planner and Hobonichi Cousin. And I also can't just plan out my business stuff in here, just because that again is messy, because it's combined with my personal and family and just like everything mushed together. So it's not a good way to kind of see everything very clearly. That's why I wanted to have this separate notebook where I can just break things out in a clear matrix, with the categories listed on the left. So let me show you what this sort of looks like. So in October, I will write out sort of like the key dates and then fill in when I want to start certain tasks, because you know, some things will, like, sometimes like I'll write a deadline, but then I don't really think about when I should start a certain task. So for example, I had a sale in October from 16th until 18th, but then I didn't really plan like how much time I would be spending on the new releases for that sale. So like I was kind of scrambling at the last minute, but something like that would be really helpful here, because then I can sketch out exactly when I'm supposed to start working on that. And then that date might shift a little bit, but I just kind of write down sort of kind of when I plan on doing it, and then I can just adjust it once I am moving that into the actual work planner here. So this is what the final planner looks like. It's much cleaner. I do take out some of the personal stuff out because this includes personal things, family things, everything. So this is just strictly kind of becoming a work planner. So yeah, that's sort of what it looks like. And then when I go into the weeks, I do separate them out into the categories, and then so this way I can clearly see for each category what I'm supposed to do on each day. And yeah, so I basically just ignore the hours, and then I use that as a reference for which grid I'm on. So that's helpful, but I don't use the hours at all. I just use that as a table matrix so that I can fill out what I'm supposed to do on each day. So that's what I've been using it for. So I absolutely need these two plus the daily planner, obviously. So that's the reason why I need all three of them. And then in the Cousin, I'm still using this really diligently, like every day. So I use this one less when I'm doing a new release, just because I have to spend a lot of time drawing and working on the illustrations. So see, work on November pattern. I just want to say October was crazy busy just because I had 2 big releases. So that was insane. And also the sale. Thank you so much for those of you who placed an order with me. I really, really appreciate it. So yeah, so I'm still using the weekly like that. And then in October, I actually started using my daily much more. I started out using the daily strictly for to-dos and just like checklists, but then starting from October, I started using it more for notes and brain dumps, along with also daily tasks. So here I was designing my stickers. So that's kind of how I've been using it, and I use it for notes and everything. So this is when I was working on the Christmas holiday release for November. So yeah, so this has been really, really nice, and that's my November freebie. So let me just talk a little bit about the updates I'll be making in November. So I have realized that this was supposed to be my goal planner where I set out the goals in the back. So I had a yearly goal here, and then I broke them down into the different categories of my life. So it included personal, family, Sterling is my son, and also businesses. I had goals for all of those broken up by like quarterly goals, monthly goals, weekly goals, and daily goals. So I plan on using this for basically all of those categories, and I wanted to break those bigger goals down into smaller tasks. and cleanly lay them out in this planner so that I can use this as a reference. But what I've been noticing is that whenever I work on this, it's been more heavily about work and less about personal stuff. And whenever I tried to write something that was personal, I felt a little bit guilty, just because I guess I saw this more as a business planner without even realizing it. So I have decided that in 2021, so I said that I was going to be moving into the B6 size, just because I don't need such a long, such a tall planner. So this would be a little bit better. So this is what the layout looks like in the B6 size. This is also from Nolty. So I'll be using this one as my business planner. And so this is strictly going to be for business planning only. At the beginning of the year, I will be laying out all of my business goals in the extra notebook that comes with the planner. And then I will be using this just strictly for planning out new releases for Sterling Ink and like financial stuff and all that stuff. And also for my other businesses as well. So that's what's happening. So I won't be using it for personal goals anymore. And what I'm gonna do instead is I'm still going to be using my Hobonichi Weeks as my messy planner and pre-planning and brain dump. And what I'm gonna do is all the personal stuff, like all the personal goals and whatever, I'm probably gonna write them out. I might write them out at the beginning in the notes section, just as a reference. And then I'll sort of plan them out here in the weekly and in the monthly. Or actually, no, I'm gonna write out all my goals in the notes section. And then what I'm gonna do is, instead of dedicating a planner just for personal goals, I'm going to be using my Hobonichi Cousin for that purpose. So I'm going to be directly writing in like the tasks that I break out on each day. So for example, if I decided to read one book per month, then I will break that into 30 chunks and then decide how many pages I have to read a day. I'm just using that as an example. So say I'm supposed to read 15 pages a day, so that's 450 pages, right? So I will write out exactly which page I'm supposed to read on the top right section where you have these checklists. So this section I'm going to be using for personal goals only. I'm just gonna write directly in there every month or every week. When I plan that out, I'm just gonna write out the work I have to do, the reading I have to do, and all the personal little goals, self-care stuff, family things. I'll write all of them up here so that I can see them right away on a daily basis. That way I don't have to reference something, some other planner for the personal stuff. And I'll be using this planner only for business purposes. So I think that's going to be better, because I guess I do want to make a little bit of a separation between personal and businesses a little bit next year. This year everything was pretty mixed up, which is fine because I'm just starting out. But next year I want to just make them a little bit more separate. And speaking of separating, I've been using my personal binder. This is my personal ring binder, and I've been using this as basically my brain on paper, and it has all these dividers for all the different things that's part of my life. And it includes businesses and also personal stuff, family stuff, family finance and all those things. but I had this planner laying around, so I purchased this at the beginning of 2020, and this is such a pretty planner. It's from Mulberry, and unfortunately it's in the A6 size, so I can't just easily switch between the personal and the A6. And I felt a little bit sad that this was just sitting in the box, so I decided to take it out and make a use out of it. So I decided to move the business sections into this planner, and you can actually fit quite a lot. The strap really allows for a lot here. So I'm going to be using this for my businesses, so I will be moving those out into this A6 Mulberry, and I'll be setting that up this weekend, which is really exciting. So I think moving on to next year, I will be I think in the next year I'm going to be using this one as my work reference binder, and this will be my work planner, like planning out schedules and new releases and other deadlines for, you know, my businesses. So these two I'll be using for that purpose, and the Cousin will just still be the all-in-one type of daily planner and weekly and monthly. So yeah, so that's sort of the update. So I will no longer have a personal goal planner. Starting from November, I think I will not write any personal goals in here anymore. And I hope that will help me a little bit, just because I felt like when I was planning out my weeks, I focused more heavily on businesses rather than like equally focusing on personal stuff and businesses. Just because I did also write out the categories for the businesses up top, and then the personal stuff for at the bottom. So by the time I plan out the businesses, I'm like kind of tired. So I just end up not doing the personal stuff. So I hope this will help me out a little bit, because then I will see that right away up here. Yeah, so let me try that out in November and then see how that goes. So that's it, guys. That's my update sort of for October and also in November. And I'll update you guys on how I do in November. I'm so excited for 2021, but I'm also kind of sad that there are only 8 weeks left, or a little bit less than 8 weeks now. So I plan on just making them count and work really hard and just kind of check off more of the goals that I set out for this year. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.